And welcome back, folks, to We'll Take It From Here podcast. My name is Joe. We have John with us over here. Say hi to John.
Hi, guys.
Hey, man. And you listen. And ladies, exactly. 45%.
And the in-betweens.
And the in-betweens, yeah. You're listening to We'll Take It From Here podcast, which our goal is to make you think and entertain you. We're on episode 72 today. Can't fucking wait to give you this episode. To be honest, I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but we'll have a good one for you. Before we get to the show, I just want to say, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts. Please help us with the YouTube video. We're at 72 subscribers. Our goal was 1,000, so we're doing pretty fucking well. But no, please subscribe to the YouTube channel because John over here, who is our cameraman and substituting in for Don, is killing it. Legitimately, you're fucking killing it, and I love it. And thank you so much for your hard work.
I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. So please subscribe and watch us on YouTube. Honestly, the YouTube views are going up, so I love it too.
Yes, it'll happen slowly unless more people start sharing it. And subscribe. The subscribing is something that we all. I mean, it is what it is, right? It's going to happen slowly, organically.
Yeah.
And then eventually it'll pop.
No, for sure.
But we appreciate all, you're watching and listening and sharing and commenting. And like we said, commenting helps a lot. Even if you want to just say, hey, you guys suck or whatever you want to say, that helps out in the algorithm too. So,
yeah. I mean, if you say you guys suck, I'm obviously going to find you, hunt you down. But it's all good.
We'll have you as a guest and be like, please tell us more.
Yo, that's a good idea. We'll do that. Absolutely. So, thank you. We also have some shirts. It's if you go on our Instagram, you'll see it's We'll Take It From Here podcast Instagram. Definitely have some shirts. We would love to sell you guys. They're fucking sick. You want to buy them. You do. If not, you're not cool. It's all good. That's just how you know. So, hit us up there. Hit me up in my DMs. Ladies, slide into my DMs. No, hit me up in my DMs if you want a shirt. I'll sell you one. But anyway, guys, we're on episode 72, and to be honest with you, I have no idea what the hell we're going to talk about, but that's the format of the show. See, the beauty of this show is we don't fucking plan shit. Even when we have our guests on here, we don't plan shit. And if you remember, for those of you who have been listening for all 72 episodes, in the beginning, it was just me and Don talking, bro. And literally the episodes, people would be like, well, how do you plan for your episode? We didn't. We would just talk, and then talking came into something. I don't know. We would talk about fucking, I don't know, afterlife. I have no idea how. But yeah, literally, that's how we do it. So now I'm actually cool to see you now. So we're gonna do this on a conversation. I guess we can. Cheers. I got a nice old fashioned here, folks. I'm a bartender. Come to Table Tavern, and I will make you a drink if I'm in a good mood. Just kidding. I'm always in a good mood. Psych. Anyway,
so that's what you got to get. You got to get coasters with the We'll Take It From Here podcast branding.
Yeah,
that way you can throw them on the table for everybody. Yeah.
Fuck, that's a great idea.
And you just see, like, hey, as long as your business or the company you work for allows that, but usually it's just don't worry about it. Here you go.
Well, maybe they'll allow it. I'll make sure they allow it.
They're like business cards.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I'll make it. Come listen to two studs talk about life. But no, literally. Dude, I didn't have anything planned for today, but I don't really give a shit because this is what we're going to do. This is how we do it. We talk, and that's what life's about, right? I recently just did a podcast. I don't know if you heard it or you said you heard it with Adrian and Mylan, right, on the Training Wheels podcast.
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen it, it's called Training Wheels Podcast with my boy Adrian and my boy Mylan. Adrian is the co-owner. With him and his wife Colleen own Lobo MMA in Blairstown, New Jersey. I went there. I had a nice little jiu-jitsu session. When we went to the bar, and then we came back, and I literally did a 3-hour episode with them. Unreal. I had the most fun ever to be on the other side of it. Now I see what you guys and you, the folks that have been on our show, thank you so much. We love you, and those in the future that will come on. Now it was so much fun to be like you. It was so much fun to be on the other side, right? Because it's like, dude, the only thing you have to do is and if you guys know me, I'm passionate. I don't fucking shut up, so it was easy, right? You just talk and you talk and you talk. But it was really cool. We had some insane conversations, dude. We had some pretty dope conversations. I don't know. We started talking about religion and the afterlife. And,
true.
What was it? Death and reincarnation and all that good shit. What it means to be a good person, dude. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like what it really means to be a good person. And how that gets interpreted, in many ways. And Adrian had a good point about that too, because what's it called? like we see people and we basically look at someone that may be on TV or look at someone that you know, and you may not know them personally, right? That's what Adrian was getting to that point. Like, you may not know them personally, but they do so many good things and they look like a good person on the outside, and then all of a sudden, you know, if you go into their life, they may not be doing the things you think they're doing, right?
Oh, right. They got the bodies in the basement or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy. So I don't know. I mean, like, I've been thinking about that lately. I've been thinking a lot lately. I've been an interesting past 3 weeks. Bro, I don't know. It's fucking crazy, dude. When you get older, man, you start to realize that, like, I don't know if I'm complicating life, but I may be complicating life.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of the times, a lot of the shit that, like, gets me in a down mood it's just my fault. And I hate to always be like taking the Jocko Willink approach with extreme ownership, right? But I always I don't want to blame others. I want to blame myself. But like, then you get to like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about boundaries.
Okay.
So, like, you get to a point where if you take extreme ownership all the time, which is a good thing, right? It gets to a point where maybe you then, I guess he's not saying not to establish boundaries. He's not saying that. I've never read his book, but you get to a point where everything becomes, you take responsibility for it. And it's like, at some point you don't really have boundaries. At least sometimes in my circumstances, not all the time, but sometimes it could be.
So are you like looking at just day to day things, are like just through all life? Like, how the hell did I get here?
Oh, both.
Okay.
Both day-to-day things. I think day-to-day might be a little bit easier to set your boundaries, but on bigger things in life, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess you I don't know, boundaries are really important to set.
Like, when you talk about boundaries, are you just like thinking of
like self-respect?
Self-respect, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's, you talking about getting older, and it's so easy to, like, for instance, I'm not living the dream that I thought I wish I was 10 years ago, but I am living a great life. I got a wife with kids and everything like that. Was that part of my original plan? No, right? But
so you never. Are you talking about the job, or did you never plan to have a family? I'm just, because the way you said, like, wife and kids, and you said, was that my original plan? No, am I misunderstanding what you said?
No, you were right. It's just,
okay.
I kind of jumped to be like, I'm not here, like, I'm not doing the job that I thought I wanted to shoot for, but then it was like, but I'm also happy, like, that I have a wife and kids, even though they weren't originally part of the plan.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense. I was just clarifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
So, but, I could always just be like, oh, well, motherfuck, it's because of this, because of that, because of whatever, how many millions of other things in the world that I could have blamed them, like, well, I'm not where I want to be because of this or what. But, like, you're taking ownership. It's like, I am here because I made every single decision myself. No one ever put a gun to my head and was like, hey, you have to turn left. Right now, you have to turn left. It's like, even though I wanted to turn right. It's just one of those things where it's like, everything was a decision I made. I mean, when I was in my 20s, early 20s, my thought process was, because of the story I told 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, episode 69.
I think I got that number right.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Or 3, I think, right? Wow. Basic edition, guys. No, I think was it 3?
It was 69.
69, and this would be 72, so yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
we both fucked up on that
That's
one, so
right.
I wasn't fucking with you.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's you know what it is? I remember I put the number on the thumbnail, so that's why.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right, yeah.
And I'm drinking, that's why.
But we had to change it because it was 68 at one point.
Oh, it was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then I made that.
Exactly.
Okay, fuck.
So,
oh, man.
But anyway, my dream idea would be like, I'm going to be an independent filmmaker, like especially like horror movies or something like that. I'm going to be making a living off that. But I knew it wasn't going to be a huge living, right?
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to live in a small house and just have nice things. That was my thing. Like, live alone, control my own life. I'm not in charge of anybody, just myself. So if I'm on my deathbed, I wasn't going to be able to blame anybody but myself, right?
Yeah.
If I wasn't where I wanted to be. Obviously, flash forward a couple of years, I re-meet up with a girl from high school that I knew, and we hit it off so well. Our first date was at a diner. We spent 6 hours talking to each other.
Nice.
And
6 hours at a diner, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing diners are open 24/7.
I know they were getting mad because they didn't know who was going to tip each other because they had a shift change.
Really? Oh, that's right. In the diners, they don't really tip.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So we're like, hey, we'll tip them both. Oh, we don't care. We're just having a good
yeah.
time. But anyway, obviously then we started dating, and then obviously I proposed and all that stuff. So my decision to get married, and I knew she wanted kids eventually, so we had kids. And it's just, am I where I thought I would be 10 years ago? No, but I have a great family. I have a really nice house. In my head, it's a really nice house. It's a great location because we just moved last year. But like going through life, you always want to blame something, right? And just be like, oh, well, what the fuck? I'm not like, if, for instance, if I wanted to blame my wife and family, be like, well, I could have been an independent filmmaker, but you slowed me, like.
Yeah, and that's a really big responsibility that, to not blame others, right? When it's not their fault, okay? Why do you think as humans we do that? I don't have an answer, but why do you think that a lot of people will result to blaming others?
I think it's just easy.
Easy?
Yeah.
So they know it deep down then.
They and plus ego, like if, like for instance, if you lost a role in jiu-jitsu, and this is me having zero experience with jiu-jitsu.
No,
but
say it, and I will definitely confirm if it's true or if it's not.
Yeah, you have a bad roll, you lose or tap out. You have to tap out. Like, whose fault do you think it was?
Oh, 1,000%. Well, actually, I don't even think it was anyone's fault. Like, they did everything correctly. You did everything not correctly.
Say your arms are sweaty and you slipped. You went for a grab and your hand slipped off your wrist or something like that. So you couldn't get the tap. And then also, like, you're like, well, my arms were sweaty or something like that. There was always an excuse for why
always
something.
An excuse.
Yeah.
When in reality, if you had stayed calm, did the proper form, that wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
And even if it did slip, then really a good practitioner in jiu-jitsu would then, adjust and go to another move or go to another position.
Right.
So, but you're saying then, oh, fuck, I didn't do that because of X, Y, Z.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, like, for instance, a whole random interesting one. My buddy got into a car accident. He ran into a deer.
Oh, Jesus
on Route
Christ.
23. If anyone is in the area of northern New Jersey, Route 23 and by West Milford.
Is he okay?
This is years ago.
Oh, years ago. Okay.
So he died. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, he's alive. I'm
sorry. You're fucking sick, but I love it.
No, he's good. No, he's fine.
Yeah.
He had a Saturn, so it folded up like an accordion, but he was fine, right?
Yeah.
But he was blaming the deer. He was blaming motherfucking deer. And I'm sitting there going, well, how fast were you going? He was going, what's that matter? 85. He was a fast driver, right?
85.
I don't know if it was 85, but let's just say it was between he was going really, really fast.
Yeah.
So I stopped him. I said, well, if you're going to speed limit, maybe that deer would have passed before you got there.
Boom. And he probably, how did he respond?
He didn't believe it. He goes, no, it's because my car scared it. I was like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, right.
Dude. That's the way you look at things like that. Like, he was ready to blame this deer that just got demolished.
Yeah, dude.
But really, if he was going to speed limit, he might not even have met the deer.
That's so true, bro. That is so true. So ego, and it's easy. Why do we, dude, honestly, everything's easy in our fucking life, right? Or that's not true. Everything's hard, but we seek easy. Do you think that is a common human factor, or do you think that's been bred the past few years, or do you think it's a combination? Because have you ever heard that term default lazy?
Yeah, I think it comes down to peace of mind.
Okay.
I'm not well read as you guys are, but I can imagine where it has like instinct where, back in the day you should wake up and survive.
Dude, you used to wake up and fucking hunt for your food and run away from predators or try to kill the predator.
Exactly.
Dude, life was so much harder back then, and yet I bet you they were so much I bet you there was more peace. Look, I don't want to misspeak, right? You wouldn't. There was
less to compare to,
but you were definitely fighting tribes. You were definitely fighting predators. So in the moment of the chase, you weren't at peace. And yes, it probably was less friendly, but on your mind, right? There was less comparison. There was less. I guess there was less anxiety, right?
Well, what we would think is a calming Friday night, like you're just Netflix and chill, right? To them was just to eat a meal by a fire and not be stabbed in the face.
Yo, legitimately. So it's got its ups and downs. But keep going. So what were you saying?
I lost my train of thought.
Fuck, dude.
We went back in time here.
Well, we did go back in time, and that's okay.
But I was talking about just in general with you were talking about the
is it a recent construction, like a social construction, or do you think there's this factor in our brains to always seek easy and seek comfort?
Yeah, I think they always say to work smarter, not harder, right? And I do think there's something built in there. I mean, like I said, it's just to be able to go home and sleep in a warm bed. It's like,
which is cool.
Most places probably are unfortunate enough not to be able to do that. They're sleeping on like rocks or in a barn somewhere.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like things like that is I don't know. Just I would say yes to your question, because we do seem to. But that's just me personally. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you always hear about the hustle, like the hustle community, and work harder, just keep grinding and all that stuff. And it's like, those people they want to run from comfort in a sense, versus most people that just kind of accept it. Like, for instance, if you ever got into an accident, right, and you get back like a police report or whatever, and like someone says it's your fault, or an ambulance chaser catches up with you like a couple weeks down the road with like a summons to be like, hey, you hurt them, even though they were fine on the scene. Like, you're going to be thinking about that whole situation the whole time.
Yeah.
And then when it's finally dropped, you're finally going to have that ease,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I would describe, like, the peace of mind is. We're always going for comfort, if that makes sense.
No, it is interesting because you're always going for comfort, but like, I guess that's why it's always good to seek discomfort. And some people,
we don't grow without it.
No, exactly, right?
Yeah, because like I could have stayed in the house that I had last year. It was on a corner lot. I just, obviously the kids are growing up fast now, and it's just we had no yard and like nothing like that. But I could have just stayed in that house, paid off the mortgage within 14 years, and then it
would have been easier.
It would have been easier, but I didn't want that. Like,
so what was the underlying? I'll let you talk. But what was the underlying like decision? Like, what was that clicking point in which you were like, nah, this is something I got to do. I got to move.
Yeah, first it was neighbors. We had a bunch that are good people. We always had parties and stuff together, but it was just the idea to, like, my kids had nowhere to play except for the road. And when I was a kid, my buddy used to live in the same neighborhood, and we used to play in the street all the time. And back then, if anyone was speeding, like, the whole community would get on that person, like, what the hell are you doing? Calm down. But now, like, everyone's like turning a blind eye. Like, you yell at somebody and they look at you like, how dare you? And everyone's like, you can't talk to them. Like, what do you, and it's just like, I can't see my family living here. And and another thing is we outgrew the house, In my eyes, we did. So it was basically a 3-bedroom house, and it was a crawl space, no basement. It was basically one floor as well. So there was no like separation of anything as well. And I think, believe it or not, I had the epiphany while blowing leaves at work, and I was like, I have nowhere to blow my own leaves at my house. Like, I would have to like bundle it up, bag it, and bring it out. And I was like, fuck this. Like, I want a place with woods, because I grew up in a house with like a big mountain.
I remember,
and stuff.
dude. I remember you eating the birch off the trees,
dude.
baby.
Drinking the birch. That's awesome.
I fucking love it.
Yeah. So
that's such a fucking badass thing. Like, that's so wilderness.
It is,
bro. That's so wilderness. I sucked the birch out of a fucking tree. Oh my god, I'm serious. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
No.
It was cool. But anyway, yeah, so the breaking point was basically that. Like, I'm looking to see where my kids are going to grow up. And I couldn't see them living in that house anymore. Just like growing up, because they were only 2 years old, and we pretty much almost outgrew the house. Like, we just had it renovated in 2019, and we refinanced for like a 15 years. So like I said, within like 14, 13 years, we could have had it paid off. But it's like, yeah, but then do you wait till they're in high school to move, and then they're going to not want to do that because they're going to have friends, And then it's like, and then by that point, they're off to college, and then do you just stay in the house till you're just the two of us, and it won't be a big deal? But it's like, I don't know. We can have 15 years of just me hating this house right here that we just made into a beautiful house, or we go and find a beautiful place that has woods, has a nice yard for the kids to play on. We can put a swing set in. We can do whatever they want. They can play basketball in the driveway, go sleigh riding, and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, let's just do it. So of course you dive in, and you got to get uncomfortable to move. That was, I believe it or not, that was the first time in my life. So I was, I'm 36 now, so I was 35 last year. That was the first time I really took a big chance on something that I wasn't too sure. I was confident we were going to find something, but the problem is the market was so ridiculous. Like wanted a $400,000 house, you would have to put 650 just to get a look at.
Absolutely.
And there was a house that we first saw, and I was naive to the whole situation. I don't think we had a really decent realtor. He was nice and everything and did all the work behind scenes, but we were the ones that found the houses and were like, we want to look at this house instead of like them coming up with like 10 or 5. I think because they didn't know how the market was going either. They didn't know how crazy the market was, because you could show someone 5 houses, but if they had started showing or started having showings that day, it could have already been bidded on, like, to the point where it was out of your budget.
Yeah, I was hearing that. I was hearing people, like you said, were just bidding well over the fucking
dude, it was nuts. And I feel bad for these people, because it's like they see a house and they fall in love with it. And I always said it's because you have like some 15 minutes to look at a house because there's bookings of like showings, right? And
well, I'm going to interrupt you right there. And that's why you don't fucking vote for policies, regardless on what side of the fucking spectrum, that are going to screw over your city. So then you have to come into the state over, AKA New Yorkers and Californians that went to Texas. Love you guys. Sorry, keep going.
For a second, are they going to pop up with a sponsor? You're like,
no,
by the way,
don't vote for dumb policies. All right, awesome. So what were you saying? Sorry.
Yes, don't do that. So like I said, I feel bad for the people that look at a house and then they panic into like putting this high bid. And we didn't get into a bidding war because it was basically like an open closed way of doing it. Like I always imagine when I first bought my house, it was basically like, put in a bid and then you have like a whole week or whatever it was. And if someone bid a little bit higher, then you put more in, right?
Yeah.
This was like, no, this was like, put your best and highest or whatever you're comfortable with for this house.
Yeah.
And then they're like, then they'll get back to you within a few days. They're like, sorry, they had 10 offers that were like double yours or whatever it was, or like even like $100 more, something like that. But anyway, and then it was kind of like a done deal because they would just pick the best choice and then move on. There wasn't a counter offer really, which was strange in my eyes. I don't know. Like I said, I had weird realtors, a whole different time than what I was used to the first time. But yeah, like you have 15 minutes because of the slots to make a lifelong decision.
Yeah, dude, legitimately. Like that's a fucking, and not only is that like a decision that's going to affect you, now that's going to affect your wife and kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what's funny though? I'm going to go back to one thing that you just said. You said it was the first time in your life you took a risk, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was a scary, right? Or maybe, I don't know, scary is not the word, but it was nerving, right? Nerve-wracking, possibly.
I had poker face.
You had poker face.
But it's basically like this, listen.
Well, because you had poker face for your family.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure,
exactly.
You have to.
And I had a confidence that, because I knew what to look for. Mm-hmm. I knew what to look for in a house. I knew what I wanted. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't really know what they want, and then they find out the hard way.
Like you want what you want, baby.
For instance, like, someone that I know bought a house and it was on a hill, right? And they're like, or as the bottom of a hill, kind of, it was a weird layout. They have a house behind them that slopes down. They're kind of in the, like before the road, they're in the middle, right? Obviously, water flows down no matter what you do. So within like 5 years, they had to redo a whole sub pump in their basement. And it was so expensive. But it's like, those are the things I knew what to look for.
Yeah, for
anything. Sure. That and I knew what I wanted for the kids and everything like that, so that helped. So I wasn't going to settle on anything. And what helped is we also did have a place to stay, because we had to buy to sell basically, and which I couldn't, like, I know Kristen, your sister-in-law, was saying they bought a house, but they saved up. I don't know if that was their first house or whatever, but
So with my brother and Kristen, that is their first house that they bought.
oh, good,
Yeah,
okay. So yeah, they had time to save up and
Yes,
all that
exactly.
stuff. But like some of these down payments, like people would have to make, like the down payment we had to make, like is insane. Like just because I chose to do 30%.
Okay.
That's
That's good. That's a lot on the down payment.
Yeah. So
that's like a lot.
But that helps monthly.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not frugal, but I'm very calculated with money.
You definitely come off as that guy, and that's a good thing, bro. That is a very good thing, because a lot of people wouldn't put down 30% to then have lower monthly payments, right? Yeah. They would rather put down less and then have more monthly payments, but you never know what the future is going to hold.
Well, that's it.
Dude.
Like if
you never know.
Owning a house for the first time, I know that for no reason taxes are going to go up.
Yeah.
So you're paying this much.
Well, you're in fucking New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. So you're paying this much, and all of a sudden, boom, you're paying this much, and you're like, whoa. Some people like literally did not do monthly by monthly. They were basically just like, oh, what could we afford? How much do I make? Okay. They never like break it down to, okay, we pay this much for food, that much for gas, this for clothes, blah, 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 blah. You have to put all that shit in, because then you're going to get left with, oh, we only have $5 now after paying the mortgage for the month. And then it's like, oh, okay, so what happens when taxes shoot up? You know what I mean?
Screwed, exactly.
So, but that was the calculation that we did between my wife and I. And actually, my wife was really good, because she pretty much, I knew we could afford up here, but she wanted to be down here for the safety. And I was like, that's fine. That's perfect, because we won't go over this, right? So that's unless, well, I said to you, not always, but I said to you, before we put a bid on this house, because the house that we're living in now, like I'm surprised we got it. Let's put it that way. I was shocked actually that we won the bid, but we put our best and highest, and it wasn't just like our best. It was our best.
Yeah.
And the reason we were able to do that was because my wife got a raise like the Friday before.
Okay.
And it was just
fate, baby.
Exactly.
That's fate.
So what was here, or what was up here, was now back to here for our highest. So that's what we did, and it worked out. But there's a lot of houses that people were trying to get a quick buck, so a lot of the houses being shown were like no one took care of their house. There's a ton of that out there.
Dude, I feel like there's just so much of that. I feel like our society is gotten to a point. Good English. Has gotten to a point.
That was perfect.
Yeah, I said is, and then I changed the topic, but has gotten to a point where like laziness is not that it's good, but it's just accepted. So like, dude, take care of your fucking house, bro.
Yeah.
And look, all right, Joe, you're not a homeowner. Gotcha. Like I speak to my brother.
Well, then shut up.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, dude. I hear my brother all the time, and he does it, dude. He goes out, he does the lawn, he takes care of the lawn, he mows the lawn, he takes care of the house. Kristen takes care of the house, right?
Yep.
It's a lot of work. I get that, right? But it's like, dude, have pride. Have fucking pride in what you're doing. Like, this is a apartment right over here. You guys can't see it because of the cool ass background.
It's a warehouse.
Yeah, it's a warehouse. It's where I keep the bodies.
That's it.
Just kidding, by the way.
Joe, are you a good person?
Oh, that's the show, folks. No, anyway. What's it called? Like, but you take pride in it, dude.
Yes.
Like, and I may be neurotic to the point where, like, if I have 3 things in my fucking sink, I'll clean them right away, dry them, and put them in the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But that's just what I do.
Well,
there are times where I will leave it overnight, like a fucking a bowl or a glass. Like this might get cleaned right after the show, or I may just leave this till tomorrow morning. But it's getting cleaned tomorrow morning. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not fucking letting that shit go in the damn sink and have fucking shit. Because you know what? That's what brings bugs. When you have all the accumulation of all these pots and sauces and shit, and then bugs come. Absolutely not.
Crumbs
dude.
And everything.
Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah. Well, that was the one thing too. I wasn't a messy kid or anything like that. But when you first moved into a house or apartment by yourself, and then you see like a piece of lint on the ground, you're like, oh, your instinct would be like to walk by it, but then you're like, no one is gonna pick that up besides me.
Yeah. No, I will admit sometimes on the floor though, like, Like I have to do a better job vacuuming. Now, granted, me and my roommate, my ex-roommate, and my current roommate are very clean, so like our floors don't really get dirty.
Right.
And I think they clean the floor more. I'll be honest with you, but I've cleaned the floor a couple of times, and like, but the good thing is it doesn't get too dirty because there's two people, right?
Yeah.
But now, like, that's the thing though. Like, you're right. Like, you just have to keep on top of it.
Yeah, I mean that's always been a thing. And then when you should introduce someone, like I got married or not married, but you know what I mean, like just girlfriend in general that moves in, and then it's like, why didn't you clean the plate yet?
Oh, I have a question for you. This is a good question. Let's have it.
And not saying that I gotta say it before she kills me if she sees this. No, you're clean.
Yeah.
You do a great job. I love you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. You got that. You're clean. No worries. No question. Do you think you should move in with a girlfriend before you marry them? There's a lot of people in our generation that would say yes. And they think, oh, well, you don't know who they are until you live with them. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I would say you don't know anybody until you move in with them. You can marry somebody based on, it depends on how you know them, right? But when you move in with somebody, drains start getting clogged that didn't get clogged before.
Are you talking about like their hair?
Yeah. This is all perspective and experience, right?
No, dude, I had a friend, a roommate, really good friend of mine, Mattia. Ti amo, ti voglio bene, fra. He's from Milan. He goes, he had his ex. It's his ex, but it was his girlfriend at the time.
Those damn clogged pipes.
Yo, dude, literally one time he was showing because like the girlfriend stayed for a week in America, and all of a sudden we go and Mattia just goes, bro, come here for a second. And I'm like, what's up, bro? And he's like, the fuck is this? And he's just fucking pulling hair out of the fucking tub.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I can't, bro. It was fucking, but it was a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not fucking lying. It was a lot of hair,
listen,
bro. Ladies, what the fuck are you doing? Are you shedding in the fucking showers? Like, what? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so like there's things
my
like that, and just in general, how you get along with each other in a quiet space too.
Okay.
You know, because if you're always like, if your relationship was based off of going out or meeting somewhere where there's a group of people, you gotta learn how you're gonna make out as a team, being just two people.
Yeah.
You know, I guess COVID was a good test for a lot of people that had to be stuck together for a while.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But also, you got to know, you know, you probably slept over once or twice or vice versa, but you got to know if they're going to be snoring in the night, you know,
Yeah.
things like that. And
Oh, well, whoever dates me is fucked because I snore. I snore pretty
like
loud.
a truck
really.
driver.
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
I think we all snore at some point.
Yeah, at some point, dude. Yo, sometimes, like, so when I was a kid, I'd be sleeping. So me in the old house, not in Randolph, in South Orange. My sister had her own room, and then me and my brother Nick shared a room, and we had two twins in it. So I remember I would wake up at night to pillows being thrown at my head, right? And me and Nick got along really well, but like he'd be like, "Dude, shut up," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But like, you know what, like. You know when you're asleep and then you're in that awake sleep stage, so you don't like you could be snoring but you don't know because you don't hear it, right? Your senses and your ears have your auditory senses have not fucking turned on yet. So I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not snoring, but apparently I was snoring, dude.
Yeah, well, that's the same stage I would say goodnight and have a conversation with my wife and then realize she didn't have the conversation in her head, like she was just half awake. Wait, that was my brother. I remember. He used to like bite his teeth, if that makes sense. He would just clench his teeth.
Clench his teeth.
Yeah, just like I know he'd just be like sleeping and be like,
"Oh no way!"
And I'm like,
"The fuck was he dreaming?"
I don't know, man.
Yo, he was probably eating the corn on the cob, dude. Like,
Yeah,
what
right.
the fuck?
So, but like that was just.
No, but like fucking, like I can't laugh at him. Like I'm not laughing at him, I'm laughing with him.
I know. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yo, I used to sleepwalk.
Oh really,
dude? I used to sleep. Okay, so I have some funny stories. I used to sleepwalk to the point where, all right, there's a couple. I'll start off like slow, and then I'll go from 0 to 10. So when I would sleepwalk, there was 3 in mind. One time I walked into my brother's room. This is in the new house, so we had own rooms, and my brother Nick goes, dude, what the hell are you doing in my room? And I was like, and I didn't answer. I just started walking into his window, backing up, walking into his window, backing up. And then he hit me with a pillow, and then I went back to bed. Which apparently you never wake a sleepwalker.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But apparently I have such a deep sleep that I got hit with the head with a pillow and just went back to bed.
There you go.
Second story, this is the medium one. I remember I woke up and there was like this balcony over like from the family room to upstairs. So you could like talk.
Yeah.
I just remember I was like, it was like 12 o'clock in the morning on a school night. And I was talking to my mom and sister. Maybe it was a little because my sister was awake. So maybe it was like 10. But I go, open the garage. And my mom's like, what? Like, you got to open the garage. Justin, my friend. Justin's outside. He's waiting because I had a dream about Justin. Like, he's waiting.
Yeah.
He's waiting. He needs to come in. Open the garage. And my mom's like, Joe, go back to bed. You're sleepwalking. It's okay. It's 10 p.m. You have school tomorrow. I'm like, no. He's outside. Open the garage. And then I just went back to bed. And now this one. This one is where maybe the viewership will be cut in half thinking I'm a psychopath. And I have no recollection of this. But my sister's not a liar. So, this is bad. But I slept crawled from my room into her room around the time that The Ring came out.
Oh,
you know, like that scene where she's crawling.
Yeah.
And my sister was like, Joey, and I just wasn't answering. And she was like, Joey, go back to bed. And I wasn't answering. And I crawled in, and then I crawled out. And I was like, you're an amazing person, because if that were me, I would have fucking beat the shit out of you. Like, don't ever crawl into my, and I was like, dude, having self-control. Like, I don't remember any of this. Like, sleepwalking is fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Sleepwalking is nuts. Sometimes I had sleepwalking episodes where I didn't know if I was dreaming or sleeping. Like, honestly, sometimes I didn't know. Like, it felt real, and I was in my kitchen. And then I would run all the way back upstairs and go to bed. And in the morning, I'd be like, was that a dream? Or was I really in my kitchen at 2:30 in the morning? But it's fucking scary, that shit. I grew out of that shit. So
okay.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, absolutely. I don't sleepwalk here, dude.
Yeah.
But if I sleepwalk here, that'd be weird. At
Just
30 years old?
Yeah, you end up at the train station.
Bro, I end up at Godfather's Pizzeria.
There you go.
Like, fucking eating pizzas.
You just shove your face full of pizza.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't remember if I ever slept walk, but I've had those moments where you, like, or at least experience them. I don't know, because you obviously sleep and you won't know. But
hold on, I just want to clarify something. Sorry to interrupt you. I meant, because I know these fucking YouTubers and shit, I may have misspoke. If I were my sister and it were me, I don't hit women. If it were my sister and it were me, I would have beaten the shit out of myself. Keep going. I just had to clarify that. Like the NSA is on my ass, right? You know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
They were writing down.
FBI. My agent was writing that
with
down
the
for
crayon and the. Yeah.
What color crayon do you think your FBI agent has? I think mine has green.
Green? Yeah, I was gonna say green too.
Green,
actually.
Yeah.
It just I mean, red is when you start beating your sister up, that's
red.
start writing red.
Red's too boring. I think mine's green. Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
So yeah, I mean, I just remember having weird, like one nightmare dream. I don't remember if I ever slept walked. If not, it must have been something where like you're half awake and like do you remember? You said you were in the kitchen, but do you remember crawling into your sister's room, or they just told you?
No, dude, I don't remember shit. Like walking into my brother's window, do not remember it.
Well, I think you
crawling into my sister's room, do not remember it. I do remember telling my mom to open the garage, though.
Okay.
So I guess I was awake.
You probably woke yourself up.
I woke myself up while I was like, why am I looking over the balcony?
Yeah.
But like one of those things.
So I just, I don't remember ever having like slept walk, but I do remember having, like that in between you're awake and sleeping. I remember because I watched a lot of horror movies growing up. Mm-hmm. So I remember when I was really young, my brother and I were still sharing a room, and I don't know what the hell it was, but I just remember, I don't know if I wasn't talking to anybody, but like either it was quiet or like you know how dreams kind of just flow into one and the other, and it's like 1 minute you're like at this table talking, and the next thing you know you're on Mars for some reason. It just doesn't make any sense.
I always love when I go to Mars from the table. No, but it's
Exactly.
true though. It's true.
Yeah.
It's
Take
true.
this podcast intergalactic.
Bro. We've got a listener on Mars.
There you go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. We'll come visit.
Yeah.
So, but I remember just like, I don't know what it was, but I just remember it was darkness, and all of a sudden, like, I asked a question, and then I just hear no.
What?
And it's fucking like woke me up. I was like, like,
Yo,
yeah,
that's fucked.
yeah. Bro. Like if you ever see the movie Insidious or something like that, you just remember
don't
seeing like the
fucking hit me with
shadow,
that
just
shit,
like
dude.
that.
Don't hit me with that shit, dude. I'm home alone tonight. Don't hit me with that shit, bro. Don't hit me with that shit. Yeah, but that's fucking scary. But that's the thing that makes you wake up in a sweat.
Yeah, like
Fuck
that.
that,
I remember
man.
that being like one of the like what the fuck moments. And I remember when I was a kid. I don't know if people were like ever afraid of the dark or whatever, they left their door open for light to come in.
That was me.
Okay.
Yeah, that
See,
was me.
I never did the door open.
No.
I always had to have a door closed because if it
Really?
was open, someone could sneak in. I won't.
Bro,
never
if
know.
it was closed, you could never get out.
I would hear it open though.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's
I remember
smart.
waking up and I or in the dream I woke up to look at my door and it was open and I'm going, wow, why the fuck is it open?
Yeah. No.
And then I laid down and it was like you like went to like rub my eyes or something. I opened it again, they were closed. It was closed and I was like, then I start questioning my sanity of like, what the fuck? Did something just come in here?
Dude.
Yeah, but I know I was sleeping and I think in my head, whatever reason the door was open and then it was just one of those things, but it was so real.
You just brought up a really good point. If the door is closed, you can hear it open.
Yes.
If it's open, someone can sneak in.
Exactly.
How did I not die growing up?
I don't know,
That's fucking
but that's it.
crazy.
Like that was my whole thing. Like my brother always had his door open when he slept,
Yeah.
and me, I was like, no. I was like, I need it
Holy
closed because
shit.
I can hear. Like I think that's why I'm a light sleeper now.
Yeah.
My wife sleeps very good. I'm like, if like the fan is making one little noise, I'm like, I gotta shut that shit off. You know, it's
Dude,
like,
yeah, it's weird. Like now I can sleep with the door closed. Now sometimes the door is closed. Actually, most of the time it's closed. But when I was growing up, that shit was open.
yeah, I had to
That
have a
shit
door
was
closed.
Open, bro.
Yeah.
I wanted to fucking see. I wanted to see the fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know. But actually, it was counterproductive because I'm a very heavy sleeper. So I don't really wake up, so I would have been screwed anyway. Maybe I needed the door closed, bro.
You would have slept walk away out of the situation.
Well, honestly, the way that I sleepwalk or slept walk, I don't think it would have mattered if the door was bolted or not. I probably would have broken.
You probably broke through.
Fuck.
Start yelling that
Oh
the
my
garage
God.
needs to be opened.
Have you ever heard the theory that when you dream, your soul goes out of your body and goes to a different dimension? I don't know anything about it.
I mean, it could
but
be.
I've heard of it.
I mean, there's things that like I said, 1 minute we're at the table, we're on Mars. It's like, where does that come from?
Where does that,
Was
right?
that like bad chicken I ate?
Yo, dude, bad chicken, I think would have been coming out of a different area.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did that.
But-
Had that one. Terrible.
But do you think that's real? Like, do you think that's
I-
even like entertainable of a fucking conversation?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because the human body is just and the amount of like electricity, the brain, and everything going on in the brain. It's like I don't know. I really don't know. It could just be that you're drifting off into such a deep sleep where your body needs more rest than it usually is, and you're having like these really crazy dreams. Because sometimes if you think about like especially now, like I don't dream that I'm flying anymore. Do you ever have those dreams where it's like you're younger and like you had that dream you're flying and you're like, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like the
Ever.
best dream in the world.
The only time I have those dreams is when I lucid dream. So lucid dreaming is actually something you can do. I've only done it a couple times. The problem with it is you're dreaming and you wake yourself up.
Gotcha.
So if you are ever in a dream, and this is like the one time that I flew, I was lucid dreaming. I remember reading about it online and saying that if you plan your dreams, which I didn't that night, but it's like if you plan your dreams, you could lucid dream more. And essentially what it is when you're in REM or REM sleep, that's when you're dreaming, right? And lucid just means that like you can do whatever the fuck you want. So you're dreaming.
Yeah.
But if you like start to do whatever the fuck you want, you wake yourself up because you're cognizant of the fact that you're dreaming. So
I think I do that all the time because I don't have nightmares. Like I said, there's very few times I would have nightmares because I literally, I just remember one, like the most severe it ever got was, I remember being underwater and it was just one of those things where it's like picture a swimming pool, you're looking up but like it just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So I literally ran out of breath, but in real life, I was actually holding my breath.
Yeah.
And then I just remember to the point where I was like, I have no choice but to inhale. So I was like,
yeah.
And then I was like, but I knew what I was doing. It's just like, that was I think because at one point it was just kind of like, is this real or is it not real? Because then I woke up wondering, I was like, shit, I was actually holding my breath. What if I didn't have that right? like that mental to be like, hey, just breathe. But I think that in a sense, I think I literally just drowned myself. Like that's exactly what drowning is, because if you're underwater and you just hold your breath for so long and all of a sudden like you just gasp for air, but you just suck in water and die. I think I literally just drowned myself. But most of the time, if a dream's not going my way to like for instance, we're at the table again, we're at Mars, and all of a sudden a big space snake comes out, right? And like ready to eat me. In my head, I'll just be like, no. And then it just like, it just like doesn't happen. Like it doesn't eat me. It just becomes something else or whatever. So, cause just for me, I don't get nightmares. The only thing I would consider a nightmare is if I was like, because I remember working in retail, and I just sometimes even to this day, I would have a dream where I'm for some reason I'm working a shift in retail, and I'm like, no, you just get that panic feeling.
Dude, I'm having this recurring dream where I go a full semester or full school year in college, but like obviously it goes quickly.
Right.
But I always forget to go attend one class.
Yes.
But then I remember at the end that I didn't. And I go, I'm fucked. Like, I'm failing. Yep. And then somehow I pass. And I'm like, but then the reason why I know I passed is because in my head, I'm like, wait, no, dude, you're dreaming, bro. You're fine. And I'm like, what is that? Because you know how they say there's significance in dreams? Mm-hmm. So is it because maybe I'm coasting in the way that like I haven't found what it is I want to do yet. Mm-hmm. Or am I forgetting something?
That's interesting because I've had very similar dreams.
Are you forgetting anything?
I would, because you at least got a bachelor's degree or higher.
Bachelor's.
So I only have an associate's.
Yeah, but
so I don't know if that was like a thing where like, oh, well, why didn't you go back? But then again, it could be also, well, I never knew what I wanted to do. I didn't want to waste the money on something that I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like, what does that mean? I'm serious. It's always the same fucking class.
It's like the same. I don't know. Mine was math.
Mine was I think mine is science.
Because then it's like, or in English. I think it's switched to English or whatever it was, but I remember the same thing. It's like you're going through the school and then you're like, oh shit, I had a class I never went to.
Yeah, dude, legitimately, you're right. You go to the end of the semester and like in the dream you start getting fucking antsy. Then you wake up and you're like, oh, that's awesome.
And you can't even find any classes really. You're like wandering around going, where is everything?
Dude, and then the opposite's also true too, where you want something. Or like something or someone, and in the dream you have it, and then you're like, this is fucking awesome, and then you wake up, you're like, no.
I had a dream.
No.
I had a dream I met. So you don't know who this person is, but it was it's James Rolfe. He was he's the his site is cinemassacre.com, his production company. But he was one of the first people, like pioneer-esque people of YouTube, where he was like one of the first to make it big, and he does video game reviews. His thing is the angry video game nerd. And I remember having a dream so vividly that I met this person because I like idolized him, where it's like, cause not as like what he does is the angry video game nerd, but because he's an independent filmmaker of horror movies, like things that I want to do. And I love this stuff. So I was like, I just want to meet him. I just want to hang out. So I had a dream I was hanging out and meeting him and all that stuff. And I was like, and then I woke up. I was so bummed. Like, I remember like feeling like heartbroken that like it was just a dream.
Yeah, dude.
But then that same year, he ended up coming to Clifton at a video game store. And I was like, I grabbed my brother. I was like, we're going to go down there and interview this guy because he's from PA. So I ended up going down there.
And you
I did.
met him?
I almost didn't because it was crazy. Like, it's a small store, freezing cold outside. We waited in line for so long, and it came to like that do or die moment where it's like, oh, do we even do it? Are they going to let us do it?
Yeah.
So I wrote all the questions down for each person because he had his buddy there, Mike, that did that helps along with his videos. Anyway, I ended up doing it. My brother was like, yeah, just come on, man. We did. I was actually, he was probably pissed if we didn't do it because I had him come down. He wanted to meet him too. But anyway, the point is I did get it done. It was awesome.
Got it done, baby.
It had like 50 something thousand views because he actually put it up on his website. So it was cool. But anyway,
That's pretty fucking sick.
But that's
50,000 views.
Yeah, it was like 52,000 views.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
man. Are you kidding me?
So, but I mean, that's
Yo, let's go meet a video game person.
yeah, dude. And that was 2010. But I just remember that, like, I don't know if that was just like, you know, you're talking about like sometimes seeing the future through dreams and stuff
fucking
like
love that you just said that because I was gonna ask you when
Yeah.
you first said that. I was gonna say, like, do you think that's what it is?
I think it just like lit the fire to.
Yeah, but what would have lit? Why would there have been a fire lit? Why? Why would you have dreamt that to light a fire? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I could be completely wrong. Like, dude, the one thing I always do when I start to hit these types of areas, I know that I may be wrong, but it's like, why would that fire have been lit for you?
I think because at the time we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, blaming other things for where we are in life. So because this is early 20s, so this was still me like fresh off of what was going on in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm like bummed out and all this other stuff, and I was just like, I was watching his stuff and like, oh man, how does someone like that make it and all that other stuff, and usually I think I would have just made the excuse of, oh, I'm not gonna go down there. Like, I don't know if I didn't have that dream, I don't know if I would have had the balls to go. I don't know, maybe I would have because it was close enough. But I don't know if I would have interviewed him or anything like that. I think it was just I think was like the push to be like, hey, John, you really hesitate to do things, you know, because I always said because I never had confidence to do things, you know. I was just really figuring myself out. I didn't start living my life till 18, let's put it that way, right?
All right.
Starting to figure stuff out.
That's young, bro.
So I think something, somewhere, somehow, I had this dream, and it just, again, lit that fire to be like, dude, he's fucking coming. I just had a dream where I was talking to him like he was my best friend.
Yeah.
For like, I was at his house, and like we were chatting it up. I was like, I gotta fucking meet this guy.
Yeah.
Like, and here he is. At the time, it was like 40 minutes away. I was like, it's only 40 minutes away. I was like, I have to go meet him.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And then I ended up in his movie. In LA.
That's fucking wait, what? Dude, this was speaking to you. Hold on a second. Because that's a good explanation that you gave, right? That's amazing. Whether you want to call it your higher consciousness or whether you want to call it something else, something spoke to you in that dream. And you went and you did it. And then you were in the movie. Okay? Bro. I think, look. There's a reason Don said what he said when he made that half joke about the intern.
Yeah.
You're not an intern, but you know what I'm saying? The intern joke he said on that one episode. There's a reason you came back, and there's a reason you started doing, you know, videos and other podcasts, and now you found us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we found you.
Yeah.
Don't count it out in the future, dude.
No, yeah.
And whether it's with us or whether it's with someone else, dude, I think you have a future in film.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
No, I really not fucking blowing smoke up your ass. Don't count it out.
Yeah.
Keep it in your back of your mind.
That comes back to the confidence thing. It's just it's timing of everything. Like it's small steps now. Back then I could make those big decisions like, hey, you know, he's coming up Saturday. I saw my brother Chris. I was like, Chris, would you help me out? Like come down with me and then hold the camera, film it for him. He's like, yeah, sure. Then, oh, hey, you know, he has an Indiegogo for a movie he's going to make. He's like, and he put our interview online. I was like, I'm sure he'll remember. So I put in for an Indiegogo and flew myself out to LA. I think it was either the couple of days after or before I bought my house.
Yeah.
So it was like the same time period. And then, yeah, but it's just, now, but with family and kids, I got to make small decisions like that. I can't just jump on a plane,
Absolutely.
like, and go. So when I found you guys, this was the time, because it took me, the kids are 3 years, so it took me 3 years to find enough time to be able to edit on the side, something. So
Yeah.
small steps.
Small steps, bro, and they're going to turn big.
Yeah.
Bro, like I
Hope
said,
so.
man. No, I hope so. It will. Like I said, man, it may take 500 or 5,000. I said that on Adrian's podcast. I've said that before. It might take 500 or 5,000, but it's happening.
It's awesome.
So
I appreciate that.
yeah, fuck yeah, dude, it's happening. Yeah, dude. Oh shit, look at this.
He's breaking stuff.
I'm breaking shit, man. Not only do I not know how to use Instagram, I break shit. No, just kidding.
I got that going for you.
Yeah, right. I pick things up and put them down.
So, but has anything like that ever happened where you dreamt of something and then like something?
Yeah, dude, I fucking dreamt, and not as cool as your story. I'm sure there's stuff that I haven't remembered, but when I was in college, I dreamt in the fraternity house. We slept. There was 46 of us in a house. So there's like, I don't know, 23 rooms. Something like that, like 20 rooms. I remember dreaming a week before it happened that I was in a room with 3 of my brothers, the fraternity brothers, and we were talking about something, and the kid was talking in this instance, and legitimately a week later, the kid was talking about that thing, and it was the same fucking people in the room.
Oh, wow.
In the same time at night, listening to music, and I'm like, dude, that shit just doesn't fucking
It's like a deja vu situation.
Yeah, but
that's a different...
Don't even get me started on deja vu, dude. I heard a scientific explanation of like what deja vu is. I don't remember. I heard it from my ex-roommate. And like, I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but like the scientific explanation was such, like, I was like, I didn't buy into it. I was like, that's fucking horse shit. There's no way you fucking see what's about to fucking happen and like you experience it again without it being supernatural. I'm sorry. Like, there's no scientific fucking explanation for that. Mm-hmm. Or maybe the scientific explanation is the supernatural. I don't know, but like the explanation that he told me, and this was 2 years ago, so I don't remember it. It was crock shit in my opinion, and I'm not saying to him, like, he read it. Mm-hmm. It was crock shit. So the fucking scientists that did that, crock shit. I don't care. I'm not a neurologist. They are. They're a neurologist. They study the brain. Fuck you. It's not real. Just kidding. It's not real. Anyway, don't even get me started on deja vu, bro. What the fuck is deja vu? Deja vu in French, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Deja vu or something like that. It means I've seen this before.
Okay.
So like,
yeah, I remember a situation where like, I don't know. I don't know if it has something to do with being tired, but whatever it is, like, it all of a sudden, like, it just happened. It happens in an instant. Like, say you're talking to somebody, for me anyway, like an hour, and all of a sudden, like, for whatever 10 seconds, it's like something where it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, right.
And then it's like, he's gonna pick up that bottle, and he does.
And he does, right? You're like, what the fuck?
And you don't say anything to anybody. You're just like, mm-hmm. And then it goes away.
It goes away.
Then it goes away, and you're just like, cool.
Dude, like, fuck that shit. That deja vu, there's something to it.
That'd be cool if it was like, I don't know.
I've heard theories that it's other lives.
Oh yeah, I heard you guys talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah, someone didn't. I
think it was Jay Cuz.
Jay Cuz, right? Was it Jay Cuz?
I think so.
Oh, that was the one that was the first episode.
That was the one. Yeah, hey.
That's what brought you here.
Yeah.
Oh, let's think about another thing. What about all the things that need to occur? Literally, this is gonna mind-boggling for you guys. Think about all the things that need to occur. Every little detail of things that need to occur for 2 people to meet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, think about it. It's incomprehensible because literally it's like the butterfly effect. You kill a butterfly 30 years ago, and then 30 years later, the future is different, right?
Well, it's got to be like, just think of where you are right now. Like, for me, if my grandparents never came from Germany to America, then my mom would have never met my dad, and then I wouldn't have existed.
Bro,
or like, any small little detail.
Yeah, right? Like, think about it this way. World War II, horrific event, right? Very historic event. It could be easy for me to say, oh, fuck, I wish that it never happened. And maybe that would be nice for the people that got killed, right? I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
My parents wouldn't be here right now. My grandpa and grandma weren't from the same town in Italy. My grandpa, on my mom's side, was from Naples, and my grandma, from my Mom's side was from Palermo. That's Sicily. Back then, you don't have fucking these fucking planes in the 40s that are flying you over there.
Right,
How
right.
the fuck would they have met? Well, they met in America. My dad's parents, I think, were from the same province, I would say. I don't think it's the same town. But they moved. And I'm pretty sure they met in America. But I know for a fact that my mom's parents, my grandparents on my mom's side, met in America. So it takes, in that case, kicks 4 to tango, right?
Yeah.
So, like, without World War II,
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking be here right now.
Right.
Dude, it's nuts.
Well, I mean, when I had kids, that immediately took out any reason for me to wish for a time machine. You know, if you ever had a time machine and be like, hey, I wish I had a time machine, I could go back here.
Yeah.
If I make any change to my life at all, my kids don't exist. Like, I kill my kids if I change, go to try to change anything.
Dude, that's fucking wild to think about.
Yeah. Because, like, every little detail is the reason why they're alive, the reason why you're alive, the reason why, you know.
Dude.
It just, it's crazy.
I was talking about this the other day with my brother and 2 of our friends, like all boys. We went to JR Cigar, or Casa de Monte Cristo. It's the new name. It's fucking JR. I'm sorry, it's JR. In Whippany. Go check them out. Have a nice cigar.
We're not sponsored by them.
Yeah, we're not.
But we could be.
We could be. Put it in the future. I'll
That's
dream
right.
about it tonight, but we're not sponsored by them. We were smoking some cigars there, drinking and eating, and all of a sudden one of my friends, he said that same exact thing.
Yeah.
My friend Dave said that same exact thing. He goes, think about everything that needed to occur for the 4 of us to be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
Bro, I always joke because I've never smoked weed in my life, and and my friends always joke too. They'd be like, "Bro, you'd be the perfect person to smoke pot with because of the shit you talk about," and literally like where my brain goes.
Well, maybe the way you are is because you never smoked pot. See, I never smoked pot either, ever in my life.
Oh,
I never
really?
smoked anything.
Yo, get the fuck out of here, for real?
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't think there was another one that existed.
No, I just never had any interest.
I never need you.
I think I have my best chances if all my brain cells are intact.
Well, so the thing is, though, although I will say this, I will play devil's advocate with myself. I just drank whiskey, and to be honest with you,
there was weed in the whiskey.
no. To be honest with you, though, alcohol is definitely a lot worse than weed. Now, in its own way, like alcohol kills your liver, weed kills, like if you abuse it, right? Alcohol is gonna kill your liver, weed's gonna kill your brain cells, right? But in moderation. And this is coming from someone who's never smoked. In moderation, I would have to say, well, in moderation, none of them are bad, but I don't know. Weed let's just say this. I used to think it was bad that weed was a thing because of when I was a little kid, because they said it was.
Kids off drugs.
Yeah. And then I literally just came to the point. It's like there's no difference between weed and the prohibition in the 1920s.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's literally no difference.
Yeah.
But it's just funny. But yeah, dude, I've never smoked, but I think if I did, man, I don't know. Could my mind expand anymore?
I don't know.
It has, bro.
You might ease up a little.
Oh, dude, that would be nice.
You don't want to lose yourself in the battle.
Not 8 Mile, like lose yourself in the moment.
Yeah, in the moment. Yeah. But that was the one thing that was just like, because if I was like,
I'm glad you got that reference, because if not, that would have been pretty awkward.
No, I'm good.
Eminem.
Yeah.
You're older than me, so you know Eminem.
Yeah. I know Skittle too.
Who's Skittle?
I don't know. It's candy.
Oh, yeah, I know
Eminem and Skittle. You're like, who's Skittle?
Bro, I'm like, is there a rapper named Skittle?
Taste the rainbow.
Yo, taste the rainbow, bro. Are you a Eminem or Skittle guy?
I'm a peanut M&M guy.
Damn, bro. Just throw the third one in there. No worries. That's good, though. M&M's are great.
Yeah, Skittles. No, last time I had a bag of Skittles was at a movie theater.
Damn.
When I was younger.
What movie?
You know what? I want to say it was before Shaun of the Dead. So it was back. I can't remember, but so I had a big thing of soda, which was probably Coke or Pepsi, and Skittles, and I just remember going home and just puking up a block of sugar.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Not bad.
That was the last time I had Skittles.
I remember going to the movie theater and trying to get Milk Duds, and I called them Milk Dudes.
Oh, some Milk Dudes.
And the guy looked at me like I had 15
Did
heads.
he wink at you and be like...
No, he was like, what do you want? And I was like, Milk Dudes. He goes, you mean Milk Duds? I go, yeah, I'll take those. He goes, all right. And I was like, oh, this is bad. Bad start to the movie. I don't remember what movie it was.
But yeah, We were talking about.
We were talking about
something.
weed and
Weed, yeah. No, I would say because that was another thing too. Because I mentioned to you that I moved to Queens for a little bit to try to do video production stuff. But that was my buddy. He like got into smoking weed and stuff, which a lot of the industry I guess does because it opens up creativity. But at the same time, I was like, I couldn't do that. Like I didn't want to become someone else to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and like you're saying too, like maybe you try it and maybe it opens up your mind. Maybe it mellows you out, or maybe you just end up in a very dark room the whole time, just making audio recordings of your rants.
Dude. Maybe that's the secret to getting this infliction point. Maybe I just need to fucking smoke a lot of weed.
Smoking weed with a tinfoil hat in the dark room.
Bro, dude, don't worry. I have like 15 tinfoil hats there. Psych, they're not tinfoil hats, motherfuckers. They're the truth. Anyway,
but yes, so I never smoked weed or nothing really.
Yeah. Speaking of points, we're definitely way past the point in which I can curse on YouTube, right?
Probably.
All right.
Did I curse first? I probably cursed first.
No, don't. Oh, I don't even get. As long as I'm past that point where I don't get demonetized.
I have no idea anymore. I don't even know.
I'm making way too much money on this show to get demonetized.
I got when I was listening to Adrian's podcast, the one that you're on, and I heard the bleeps in there. At first, I was like, "Oh shit, is there something we should be doing?"
Yeah,
like because of that. But I think he might have been doing. I don't know if he did it for.
No, he did it for the books I was talking about. Yeah, I mean, if you want to hear what was bleeped out, just listen to episode 68, folks. It's called "From Gales to Groomers." It's the Roxbury High School pornography in the books for LGBTQ. Listen to the episode. It's only about a 20-minute episode. It's a solo episode in which I give my thoughts. If you want to hear what was bleeped out on their episode, just go to that episode. It's literally that's what was bleeped out.
Yeah. So, because he's like you were still saying fucking all that stuff. So I was like,
yeah, it was more sexual that they bleeped out.
Gotcha.
And I don't know what is right or what is wrong, but I, the one thing about this show that I always give is like, look, guys, if you're listening to this show, right?
It's raw.
It's raw, right? Raw, right? Like uncut. If you have minors, like warn them. Right, I'm not gonna fucking
hide your wife, hide your kids,
hide your wife. They're ravens in town. No, it was not what it was.
Something like that.
Some guy was like fucking going in and like, wasn't it like a rapist or something?
Something like that.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so what were we talking about?
Weed.
We are an hour and 6 minutes. Do you think how the fuck did we get an hour and 6 minutes into this show?
I don't know. It didn't feel that long.
I literally, what I tell you before when we were setting up, like I have no idea what we're talking about.
Just go for it off the cuff.
Off the cuff, baby.
Do we have any questions this week?
I didn't do questions this morning.
Right.
I didn't. Oh, wow. What's that?
Well, his phone died, folks, so if you did have a question.
I did have a question. Fuck. No, but Anthony did. Anthony Bongiovanni, a little Tony action in
Good
here.
man. Tony, I salute you, sir.
Yeah, he asked a question. I told him to ask a question if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like doing questions today. He goes, here's two good ones. If you can go back in time and uninvent any invention, what invention would that be and why? That's such a hard question, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many good inventions and there's so many stupid. Oh my God, the shake weight. I would uninvent the shit out of that. Dude,
why?
The shake.
I use one every
Yeah, you use it everywhere. The shake weight is the dumbest invention, especially if you're a dude, bro.
You gotta hold it up.
Bro, the guy who made the shake weight was a pervert, for sure.
He's living off a lot of money.
Yeah, for freaking middle-aged moms shaking a fucking thing in front of their face. Shake weight absolutely would undo it. What would you do?
Mine would be instant message, because instant message led to the iPhone, texting, which led to social media.
Oh, damn, that's hard.
I mean, you can also blame Xbox 360 for the group chat, but
I blame Xbox 360 for a lot of arguments that I've had.
Oh, you were the kids that I muted when I was playing, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh, for sure, dude. Me and my friend group were the kids you muted.
Your mom.
No, it would mostly be like, dude, you suck at this. What are you talking about? Yeah, we got this many deaths. Fuck you, bro. Like, that was
back with high-pitched voices back in 2006. Yeah. I'm like, come on, guys. But, no, I think instant message was the start of everything. AOL,
baby. You've got mail. All right, second question. Joe, that's me.
That is you.
I'm just kidding.
Was that his question?
Yeah, that was his question. Sick question, bro. Based off your conversation with Adrian. Okay, so I'm just gonna plug this in again. Episode 7 of the Training Wheels podcast with Adrian Luna and Mylan. Forgive me, Mylan, I don't know your last name. This is what he's referring to. Sick episode, by the way, and a great podcast. Like, honestly, they have some really fucking cool guests. Like, one's on episode 5 was a end of life doula, so like she deals with people who are dying, and it's such an interesting episode. Definitely check out the podcast. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
Yep.
And I want to meet you both.
Absolutely. Oh no, I already told them that we're gonna do a collab.
Perfect. Awesome.
So Joe, based off your conversation with Adrian on reincarnation, you have the power to see. He's asking the question. If you have the power to see when your soul was alive and living, different eras of time, what timeline would you want to live in and why? We have another 2 hours on the show. Yeah, you said 5 hours of
That's
recording.
it. We're
right?
good with the cards. Yeah.
So based off the theory of what we were talking about, it's from the book. That conversation came up from the book I've read called Many Lives, Many Masters, in which, go listen to their episode. But essentially, it's a patient in the book who recounts many lives she lived prior to the one that she was in, to a prominent psychiatrist who was skeptical at first, yada, yada, whatever. I'm going to let you answer this one first.
Yeah, I would actually grow up with my grandfather in the 50s.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, he was born in 38, so I was around there.
Yeah.
And not to sound like a jerk or anything, but like he was fortunate enough to not get drafted and everything like that. But, which I salute every person that did that and commend them. But
fuck yeah, baby.
Just to be like hypothetically, hey, I could go back to something like that. Because then...
Would you be his friend?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
I mean, like, say if I even never met him, just to be around in that era.
Yeah.
Just because, no cameras. And then you get to see the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, where you're still young, 90s. And, you get to have the good old days before social media kicks in.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I would say, you can go into the future, too, but I would rather do that. And then any earlier, though, then you start getting to... knowing what we know now, then you're like, oh, well, that's back before, you'd be freezing your ass off in winter and, it starts getting a little dated for myself.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good question. I would go back to 1776. And no, I don't mean the bar up the street.
You want to be the drummer?
No, fuck, the flute player, bro. Just kidding.
Hell yeah.
No,
I'll go back. We'll play some Master of Puppets.
I would knock Paul Revere off his horse and be like, the fucking English are coming. The English are coming. No, wow. Text just came in from my phone. I'm looking at my phone. And my friend goes, Forza Inter. Worst Champions League ever, because my favorite team, I was telling you about this, AC Milan lost to Inter Milan, and then his favorite team, Manchester United, their rivals, Manchester City, are in the finals. So thank you, Justin, live on the show, reminding me that my team played like absolute shit.
Anyway, where he flips the table and smokes weed to calm down.
Exactly. Good job. No, I would go back to 1776, because I would want to see what the fuck was going on.
Like, are you able to leave? Or you have to live there for the rest of your
life?
No,
because it's reincarnation, so you can't leave.
So this is basically...
So if you die, you die, bro.
Gotcha.
Fuck it, 1776, I'll take it.
What if you only get one reincarnation, and that's what you choose?
Then I wouldn't be here right now. No, I'd be right now. Yeah, I'd take my chances. Yeah, I'd take my chances. Why not? Fuck it. Fuck it.
Why? But like, what is the deeper meaning behind 1776? Just to be there.
I just wanted to see what the fuck it was like when America... kick the Brits out.
All the school books are lying. This is nothing like it should be.
Yeah, right. Oh fuck, what's going on here?
Where the fuck is Mel Gibson?
Yeah, right. For those of you who don't get that beautiful reference, that's from The
Patriot.
The Patriot from this when he's a Scot, right?
Yeah.
I love how he said, "If you don't get the beautiful reference," and I didn't know what movie it was.
That was a great horror movie,
That
guys.
was a great horror movie. Fucking guy. Let's see if we have anything. Ding dong, boom boom. Good. Awesome. So thanks for your questions, bro. Dude, this has been a fun episode. Just bullshitting for an hour and 15 minutes. Why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Awesome, guys. You have anything else you want to leave on the table there?
No, well, I guess I could just say thanks for allowing me to be the store brand Don until he comes back. And,
You're the RC. No, you're not the
yeah,
RC caller.
RC.
No, fuck that, dude. You and Don are two distinct people with different attributes and different pros. So
Yeah,
I like
appreciate
it.
that.
Absolutely.
And thanks so much, everyone, for checking out the YouTube channel. I imagine everyone enjoys it. So, and thank you for all the compliments you give every week.
Yeah, dude, bro, you're doing well, man. I wouldn't give these compliments if they weren't true. If I didn't like
No,
your
that's
fucking shit,
true. Yeah, Joe,
would've
I
caught
could
you.
picture you just
I would
telling it like it is.
No, I tell her how it is, and even though I don't like to always be in a conflict zone, if it's something that I think wouldn't have been good, right, I would have told you way before, and I would have never even mentioned that you were on the thing. So the fact that
This guy.
yeah, no, seriously, you're doing a hell of a fucking job.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Anytime, folks. You listen to episode 72. I don't know why I snap all the time, but I do. And you're listening to episode 72. I'll start my rap career right now. Anyway, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share. If you know what it's like to wake up in the middle of the night and tell your mom to fucking open the garage door when there's no one at the garage, share this show. I love you guys. We love you guys.
It's true.
Continue
Love
listening.
all of you.
Yep. We'll be back next week. Have a great week.
Stay awesome. Peace.